Watch and burn.
Okay, so today I wanted to talk about Ladytron's first one, 604. This record was released pretty much 2 decades ago at this point. And I have to say, I'm not exactly sure how I came across Ladytron, but I know it wasn't at this point. I think the first record of theirs I picked up was Light and Magic, which had 17 on it. And like I may have said in another video already, that I was under the impression that the song Playgirl was actually another track by another group altogether, because I downloaded it off Napster back when I was a kid, and because Napster it was horrible at keeping titles correct, and people just didn't give a fuck back then for some reason. I thought it was somebody else. And so, because the reason I think I didn't get this for a while was this record is in really good shape for something that's pretty much 2 decades old. This record came out, in 2001. So I think I might have picked up a newer copy along the way, because I know initially I had Ladytron on a cassette that I had made of songs that I had downloaded. So this copy of 604, I couldn't tell you when I picked it up, but nonetheless, that doesn't really matter. I'm here to talk about the music, not the fucking physical copy. And the thing that I like about this was way back when I discovered Playgirl, and later, like a few little ways after that, I discovered like Commodore Rock, as well as Another Breakfast with You. And what I liked about it was at that point, in the early 2000s, it had such a futuristic feel and sound to it. Like, they were doing something that was so intensely unique and incredibly catchy that it's like I said, it sounded like it was from the future. But now when you listen to it, it's like future primitive, because it definitely sounds like electronic music that was made in the late 90s through the early 2000s, because here we are in 2022 and things have evolved considerably since then. And this record now sounds kind of dated, but not in that sort of like, not in a bad way. This record is still great. Like I said, on here, as far as Commodore Rock is concerned, it kicks ass. Another Breakfast with You, The Way That I Found You. He Took Her to a Movie, and of course, Playgirl's on here, which was like the first song I fell in love with by them. The cool thing about this is there's a handful of bonus songs, and one of them is USA versus White Noise. It's live in Sofia. I love that song. It's an instrumental piece that's based around a repeating melody that speeds up more and more over the course of the length of the song. And it's really catchy, and it's really fun. The other thing I like about this album is that it sounds like, it's for a debut record, it sounds incredibly evolved, I guess. Like, it sounds like they already had a real handle on their sound, and of course from that point forward they would continue to evolve, but at this point it was already, you could tell that they had something more and that they were going to go somewhere special. And sure enough, with every record they've released since, they've always seemed to like consistently raise the bar a bit more, and that's certainly no joke with them. But with this record, like I said, I think my favorite aspect is how, when I look back on it, now it sounds like old, but not old. Like, it still sounds like the future, but it sounds like the future if it was according to a bunch of people who were trying to predict the future from 20 some odd years ago, and in the process wrote some incredibly catchy songs. And I like that about this. I like that about this whole period of electronic music, like all the early Venetian snare stuff. As far as the production and as far as the synths used and everything, it's like you can tell that it was made 20 years ago as opposed to everything that they're doing now. And Ladytron's evolution has been massive, right? I mean, from this to their self-titled record, their newest self-titled record that came out a couple years ago, there's been such an evolution in their sound that you can't help but, I don't know, again, feel that this record is like dated in a good way. Like, you know that this is old because they no longer sound like this. This has such a cold analog vibe to it, and I found that everything they've done since has got warmer and warmer and more spacious, and the production has gotten bigger and bigger, and yeah. And here we are now in 2022. You got Marnie's got 2 solo records under her belt. They've released 7 or 8 full lengths, and I hope they don't stop. I mean, but if they were to, it would be okay as well, because their discography up until this point has been pretty much flawless. And hey, when you release nothing but awesome material for over 20 years and you decide to call it quits, I figure that's their business. Now, God willing, they don't quit. I don't want them to. I figure they've got at least 2 more records in them. I know Marnie's got at least 1 more solo album in her. And so it would be really nice to see them release a couple more records and her to release at least 1 more solo album. And maybe even hear something from the other members of the band and see them in a solo sense and then kind of shine the spotlight on just them to see what they do. That would be cool too. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't want to drag this on too long. I love this record. I mean, he took her to a movie. This record just has that early 2000s sound that I love so much. But yeah, look, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for sitting with me while I discuss Ladytron's debut record, 604. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope the light in the background isn't annoying because all of the ones I'm going to record tonight are going to have it. So if you find it annoying, I apologize, but I'm not going to apologize enough to stop it. So thanks anyways. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.